Good morning. How are you guys doing with your reading of Things Fall Apart? I hope that you guys are enjoying the novel as much as I did. I was actually surprised. I really wasn't sure it was the kind of book that I would like. But one thing that I do enjoy is I really enjoy learning about other cultures and finding out about these Igbo people in Nigeria just really was fascinating to me. Their lifestyle and their belief system. And then as the novel progresses, watching all of that kind of evolve and change with the arrival of these British missionaries. Yeah, very interesting and thought provoking, at least for me. And then the other thing I really like about it is I like the development of this character, Okonkwo. And I understand that at this point in the novel, we probably don't like him a whole lot. He doesn't seem to have very many redeeming qualities. I mean, yes, he's hardworking, absolutely. He doesn't have a lazy bone in his body, so he's got that strong work ethic, and he's physically strong, and he's brave, and he's a great warrior, and he provides for his family. All of those things seem like very positive character traits, but it's the other side that seems to get the most attention because he's such a harsh, unyielding man. He seems very intimidating. And I don't want to say that he's unemotional because certainly he has some very strong emotions, but he seems to lack a general compassion and empathy for others. I think that sometimes that drive to succeed and that fear of failure really get in the way of his humanity. But if you've gotten through chapter 8, and as you're reading on into chapters 9 and 10, I think you may agree that we're starting to see glimpses that he is actually capable of those softer emotions and that compassionate side, particularly revolving around the events with Ikamafuna. I think the other time that you see it is when he is dealing with his daughter and Zima. All right, that relationship with his daughter is very different than, different from, say, his relationship with his son and Woye. So there are glimpses of that softer side. And so I would encourage you to really try to look at him as a very round character, even though those negative attributes seem to stand out the most. Some other things that you probably have noticed. Let's talk in Moye for just a second. Obviously, he's very different from his father. You know, they have very different outlooks on life. They don't value the same things. And Nwoye really questions lots of different things about this culture that he's a part of. And so you're going to see Nwoye and Okonkwo continue to clash. And then watch their paths kind of diverge as the novel continues. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, also very different from Okonkwo's relationship with Enzima. Take a moment to consider that character a little bit. Strong female character, which is interesting because females aren't always portrayed in the most valued light in this particular book, in this particular society. So I certainly look for those instances where we do have hints of respect paid towards women. Another character that I want you to think more deeply about is Okonkwo's friend, Obierica. Obierica plays a vital role in this novel. He really represents a voice of reason for Okonkwo. They're very, very good friends, but very different in terms of, their general temperament. And Obierica tends to be a little bit more realistic and practical in his thought processes. So when he speaks to Okonkwo, he often speaks some great truths that could offer some foreshadowing for things that are coming in the future, and certainly some moments that would have been helpful had Okonkwo taken his words a little more to heart. Culturally and in terms of plot complication, we're learning a lot about their religious beliefs. We met Chielo, the priestess, and we're learning more about their belief in the gods and the oracles and the dancing of the Agugu at their rituals. We're learning and we'll continue to learn about some of their other traditions in terms of bride price and those familial relationships and all the inner workings of a community in the Igbo society. Next week, I'm going to encourage you to kind of keep track of some of the cultural stuff that we learn about this society. Things about religion and just their hobbies and pastimes and their economy and some of the arts and music values that they have, their law and justice, family life, all those different aspects of culture. And what are the norms and values in this society? Because like I said, by the time we move into part 2, we need to have a pretty firm understanding of this society so we can understand how it changes and why certain people react the way they do. So the one character I didn't really talk a whole lot about today is Ikamafuna. And of course, there's a reason for that, because if you've read through chapter 8, you know how his story progresses. And I don't want to give too much away there. I'll try to speak about him more a little bit later. But today you have a writing task, and it does revolve around Ikamafuna. If you're not through with chapter 8, you need to do that part first. Okay, once you get through with chapter 8, you can then hop on to Edmodo. You will see the quiz assignment. It's actually a writing task, and it shouldn't take you very long, okay? And again, it does revolve around that character, but connects other characters as well. Couple of points to remember when you're writing. I'm looking for thoughtful analysis. Okay, so I'm looking for you to think deeply about these connections I'm asking you to make. And then the other thing I'm asking for, and I'm really looking for, is the way you use evidence from the text. Okay, it's one thing to offer insightful analysis, but if you're not backing it up with specific detail, things that actually happened in the story, then you're not really being convincing. Conversely, if all you do is list a bunch of details and you don't stop to analyze why those details are important, then your analysis isn't insightful. It's not thoughtful. You haven't really said anything. Okay, so it's really a combination of both, and that's what I'm looking for. And then once you submit the writing task, then your mission is really to finish part 1 of the book, and you've got plenty of time to do that. Fridays are work days, so you only have to get through it's chapter 13 to finish part 1. So if you finish the writing assignment today and then maybe read another couple of chapters today, another couple tomorrow, you'll be ready for that quiz on Tuesday. And even if you're a little bit behind on that part, you have plenty of time to catch up. If you're in need of a quiz grade, then Tuesday is a good opportunity for that. If it's a test grade that you're waiting for, because you need to raise your test category, then that's coming up the following week. You'll just need to continue reading the book. But honestly, taking a quiz and doing these writings can't hurt you. So why wouldn't you do them? Why wouldn't you kind of test yourself and test your comprehension, because it's a good way to prepare for the test that's coming up in a little over a week. And since that one's weighted more, you should be preparing as much as you possibly can. Okay. All right, so I won't be posting anything tomorrow, but I will be around to answer any questions that you might have. Just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. In the meantime, enjoy your reading, and I will see you soon.